My name is Lauren Serra. For those of you who are new to being with us at Blushington, we are a female-founded, female-run, girl power beauty brand. And we have locations around the country, 2 in LA, 2 in New York City, and 1 in Dallas with a 3rd opening in New York City. So of course, everything is closed right now due to COVID. So we've launched this amazing virtual platform, and I am lucky enough to be one of the artists that gets to come right into your homes once a week on Wednesdays, at least while I'm doing this current series. This is my 2nd series. So this one is all about the holidays and our amazing new holiday collection of products. And I'm really going to show you guys how to use them and how to make the most out of what you have. And if you don't have these products, that is a-okay, because I will explain to you what kinds of colors I'm using and show you, and please feel free to follow along. Just a few technical things, a few little technical bits of info. In order to see my picture the best, you'll want to pin my video, or you can click on active speaker view where it says view on the upper right-hand corner. We do ask that everybody stays on mute through the duration of the class. However, any questions, comments, I encourage you to share them, type them in the chat. It is the center bottom of your screen. It says chat. So you can click on that and you can type in anything you want, any questions you have, or just any general comments. So I'm taking a sip of water. I get thirsty from talking so much. Okay, so tonight's look that we're doing is something that I thought would be very pretty and reasonable and doable in the reality of women, and doing something pretty for the holidays. Like I figured we have 2 active holidays coming up, but actually, no, we have several holidays and we're in a holiday right now. So depending on what you're celebrating, I figure that the main colors women are wearing are red, green, gold, silver, black. Of course, if you're a New Yorker, black is always chic. and then maybe like camel color, like a sweater. But that's what I'm kind of picturing. So I wanted something that could go with all of those things. So I am, again, going to be using my Anastasia palette vault. I see Michelle's clapping. Yes, this is fabulous. Just got this in for the holidays. And it comes with 2 little drawers. So the top drawer, I already took it out. It is an amazing palette called Sultry. And this has like everything that you would need for neutrals, sparkly, all the fun stuff. And then the bottom, yeah, I've already pretty much emptied this out. But the bottom drawer comes with and these are full-size products. It's their mini eye primer, my favorite mascara on earth, a full-size Anastasia lash brag, and it also comes with a black liquid liner. So we're gonna use all those products. So again, this is kind of a soft but very doable look. I chose to do something that's kind of neutral but warm. I pictured like chestnuts roasting on an open fire, that kind of warmth. So I wanted to bring that into the face a little bit, and I'm actually going to use this entire palette for blush and bronzer as well. Now this works great for my coloring, or if you're super fair. I'm like a medium right now. If you're super fair, this will work as well. If you are darker, you can do the same thing I'm gonna do with either the Soft Glam palette or the Norvina palette. Norvina is great, like I'll show you. Here, see this can be used as a darker bronzer. That can be used as a darker contour. This one can be used as a blush. This is Norvina. And this one is even a little bit darker. So we have, that could be used as bronzer. That could be used for contour. That can be used as blush. Actually, believe it or not, applied softly, that is gorgeous as blush on dark skin. Love it. So anyway, I'm gonna work with the Sultry palette, and I'm actually gonna use these two colors as my blush and bronzer. Now this is a little secret that some people don't know about the beauty world. Pigment is pigment, and binders that bind the pigment together are binders, and they can basically be used anywhere on the face. So you may have an amazing colored eyeshadow that's the perfect color bronzer for you. You can use that as bronzer. Just because it's not labeled as a bronzer doesn't mean you can't use it that way. The other thing is that goes also as well for blush. And just because something is labeled blush or bronzer also does not mean that you can't use them as eyeshadow. Same thing with highlighter. Sometimes I'll add that to a little lip gloss. Clear lip gloss, now you have a beautiful shimmering lip. So be creative, have fun, don't be afraid to play, don't be afraid of making a mistake face. It's happened to every professional makeup artist along the way of learning. It's how you learn. So it's fine, just play and have confidence in it. So now I started out by putting my base layer on already, but I really could use a little touch more. So I'm gonna put a little bit more on. So I have my like all-time favorite product, my Herborian CC cream. This is everything. If you don't love foundation, if you don't love super matte finish, if you don't love feeling like you're wearing anything or looking like you have anything on, this is like a miracle. And I'm just gonna show you. See, I already put it in everywhere, but if you're not using something like this, you can go ahead with your foundation. You see that one? I see Michelle looking. You can go ahead with your foundation. You want to start in the center of the face and work your way out all the way kind of into the hairline. You're not actually putting product in the hairline, but you want to make sure to diffuse out every single little edge. So honestly, I feel like my coverage is enough, but what I'm seeing is redness. So I've made an executive decision. All right, I'm not using my CC cream. I'm going to use my CC Red Correct. So I'm going to show you guys, this is the time of year that my rosacea really starts to go on fire. And I got red, red, red. So if you get red like me, this is the best thing ever. It's like a color corrector, but it's built in to a CC cream. It melds into the first CC cream. And I'm going to show you, I'm just taking just a little bit on my fingers. I'm going to rub my fingers together. See, it comes out like a mint green color. I'm going to rub my fingers together, and the heat and the friction is going to help it start to heat up to my skin tone. Then it's going to start actually changing color to be more flesh tone. So what I do where I have this redness, I just pat it right on top and it just erases it. But I really don't need a whole extra layer of foundation. So like, yeah, and you see I was about to do that. Yeah, I can see the difference. Just gonna take a little bit more. Yeah, this is by far one of my favorite products. I mean, I love all of the Herborian products that we carry at Blushington, but this CC cream and the CC Red Correct are like, I know that they're magical because I use them every day, and people think I have the best skin. And they have no idea that I actually have makeup on, because you really can't see it in person. It just looks like you have perfect, poreless, flawless skin. So the thing that makes this different about the average color corrector is it doesn't stay green on the skin. So it's already mixed with the CC cream. It's literally another bit of CC cream, but this one has that little bit of green built into it. So this also works really well for me when I'm kind of in between colors. So I may need to use the darker color of something, but that may be a little too yellow or a little too pink for me. So when I add in a little touch of the green, it gives me like just the right olive tone. Okay. So next thing that we're gonna do, oh, and the other thing is, okay, normally we put, I always say to moisturize your lips. Normally we moisturize with the Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer, which is like one of our customer top picks in products. But tonight, I did something a little different because it's going with our theme. This is also Herborian. I'm sorry, this is also Jouer. But instead of being the clear lip enhancer, this is a shine balm. So you're still getting that moisturizer, but the color is called Poppy. I don't know if you can completely tell, but it is a bright, neutral tone red. So it is not super orangey and it is not super blue tone. It's right in the middle. So it fits every single skin tone. So now tonight my look is gonna have a red lip. So what I like about this is instead of moisturizing with my normal clear, I'm moisturizing with this. By the time I'm done with the rest of my makeup, this will be mostly absorbed in, but I will have a nice, soft, red stained lip. So you can build on it from there, and I'll show you how, or you can keep it like that nice, soft red lip. But a red lip and a warm eye is always inviting at the holiday time. So have that on. Now I am going to start with my Anastasia Vault. So first thing I'm gonna do is we're actually gonna prime our eyes. So if you have an eye primer at home, get it out. And if not, you can substitute for right now with a matte concealer. But this eye primer in particular is amazing because it is so dense. If you can see the amount I'm using is very, very tiny. I'm gonna use that, I think, for both eyes. Let's see. Yeah, I probably took too much. See how it spreads out? And it's so opaque. Now it's opaque because it's going to give us really true color. It's going to conceal any of this darkness. See all this discoloration I have right there. And it's also going to help my eyeshadow last and not to crease. So you see how dense this is? Yeah. So you want to go all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner, from your lash line up to right under your eyebrow. And you want to make sure that you don't use too much, because you want to be able to blend it really evenly. So I even go right in this little spot. And now, okay, you see how it's kind of coming out white on me? It's going to come out that color on everyone. So if you are dark skin tone, my best suggestion, and it's actually the Anastasia's suggestion as well, because we inquired with them, they actually said mix it with your concealer. That way you get that primer, but it doesn't have that white effect. Okay, so that one's done, and you can see I actually had to remove some. So this primer, as tiny as it is very mighty, and it will probably last you a very long time, even using it daily. Okay. Yes, it's a little mommy dearest right now. Okay. So again, just, you really want to make sure that it's even, that it's evenly blended, because this is creating a canvas for our eyeshadow. So we really want to make sure that it's an even canvas. Otherwise, you could end up with splotchy eyeshadow, and nobody wants that. And now you could also end up with that splotchy eyeshadow if you don't prime. So if you've ever had trouble like kind of blending once you've primed and you haven't powdered down first, you'll notice that's another time that you get splotchy. So just follow this order and you'll be great. Okay, so now that we have that on, looking for a baby wipe. I really hate going from one product to the next and getting makeup on it. So I've been using some really great fragrance-free, all-natural baby wipes. They are the way to go when it comes to doing your makeup. Oh, we lost a light. Hang on, everybody. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, what do you think? Should we go on without that light? Can you guys still see me? Do I look really blue? What do you think, Blushington? Help me out. Should I keep going? You look good to me. All right. Thank you, Blushington. The show will go on. Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. So now that that's on, what we are going to do is powder that surface down. So I'm going to open up our Sultry palette, or whatever palette you have. And generally what you want to do is find the color that matches your skin tone the most. I always say like a flesh tone color. You can also use like a powdered foundation or a translucent powder. But I happen to like using one of these. So we're going to use the fluffy end of the amazing, perfect brush that comes with this. And I'm actually going to mix two colors. So I'm going to mix this first color, Fresh, and a little bit of this color, Birch, because I'm kind of in between. And you want to really nice and evenly blend this all over everywhere that we just put that primer. And the whole idea is that we're kind of we're sealing the stickiness of the primer, and we're also creating a soft surface that's powdered that we can easily blend eyeshadows on top of. If you don't do this, that's when you get that splotchy eyeshadow. So you always want to make sure that you blend first a nice neutral flesh tone, whatever that may be for whatever your skin tone is. I'm going to blend that all the way over. Okay. Now, I know we're going to take a quick jump. I'm taking a quick jump. I sometimes feel that if I do my brows, before I do my eye makeup completely, I have a really nice frame for exactly how and where I want to lay out my eye makeup. So I'm going to switch gears for one sec. Sorry for the confusion, and I'm switching over. I'm going to use another one of our holiday specials. It is the Better Together Brow Kit by Anastasia. And it comes with a taupe, a universal taupe colored eyebrow pencil that has the spoolie on the other end. So I love that. And it also comes with a full-size brow gel. So a clear one. So I'm going to take that out. Now you can see I've got black hair, right? When I try to fill these black eyebrows in with a dark brown or a black pencil, they look overwhelming. They look heavy and dark, and that's not the look I want, but I want them to be full. So using a taupe is the key. This also is the best color to use if you are blonde, even if you're a white blonde, and if you're gray, if you've let your hair go gray, or you are sporting a platinum or a silver, this is the best color because it's neutral and it kind of picks up different tones. So I like to start at my arch, and you can see I'm just doing short little flick kind of strokes, and I'm adding, I would say, like a medium pressure. Now, if you're not sure where, I'm just so used to doing my brows that I can just hit it. But if you're not sure where you need them to go, you hold the pencil next to this dimple of your nose and straight up to on the outside of your inner eye. You can just make a little mark. That's where you want your brow to start. From the corner to the outer corner of your eye, you can make a little mark. That's where you want your eyebrow to end. I'm doing it obviously pretty fast. Could be a little more precise about it. And then the way that I like to fill mine in, first of all, I don't fill them underneath super like a ton, because I find filling them up higher at the top and a little bit down lower here helps enhance my arch. And it also helps to like give my eyes a little lift, which we all kind of like to do. So, so try that, especially like for people that have a very straight brow. If you want to add a little bit of an arch, try pushing the underneath of the arch up a little bit and then filling in the top. But again, I still follow where the hairs grow. So I don't draw anything above where I actually have real hairs. And then you want to try to maintain the same degree of thickness throughout the majority of the brow and let it taper. Of course, if you want like a really detailed brow tutorial, we can always do, and we do, one-on-one appointments where we can really help you with your individual face and your individual brows. Okie dokie. And remember, they're sisters, not twins, as the saying goes. So you see I have my brow filled in now. I have a full brow, but it is nowhere near how harsh and heavy it would look if I did this with my dark brown pencil, or if I did this with my my black pencil. It's like just enough. It's just enough to make this look polished like that. So gonna do the other side. And again, you can see I have all these gaps here. I even have a little, still have a little chicken pox scar from childhood. And you just fill that in, just gentle, short little strokes. If you have trouble keeping a steady hand, if you've taken my classes before, you'll know I always mention anchoring your elbow down on the table or vanity or countertop in front of you. And then actually you can lean your head toward your hand. And that way you have that extra control. If that's not available, you can actually take your other hand and hold your elbow just for extra support. Okay. So, is everybody all prepared for their holidays? Let's see. Yes? I'm not, but that's okay. All right, so now to distribute the color, I'm gonna brush right through them. Always better to use a little bit less and distribute the pigment by brushing it through. Okay, I'm not going to obsess over perfection right now. But okay, so you get the idea. So yeah, the great thing is it has that spoolie on that end. So I just close it up. Always very important, guys. Don't turn these up too tall or you'll end up using too much pressure and breaking them. I always try to keep it right about there. You can see that length. Not super long. In fact, I probably usually use it more like this. That will help you for those that are having that problem. So now grabbing my clear brow gel from Anastasia that was in that little brow kit. And I'm just going to just very gently brush them into the direction that I want them. Okie dokie. And again, as I did last week, I actually used the brow gel on my eyelids as a sticky base for some glitter. So just remember, all of these products, they have multiple uses. Oh yes, I am going to let you know the trick of the hooded eye makeup. Okay, so we're gonna go right back to this kit. So now what we're going to do is take a warm bronzy color, matte, which means no shimmer. I'm going to use this color Birch and just getting it on the tip of that fluffy brush. And then that we're going to put right in our crease area. For those of you who have a hooded lid or a deep set eye, or in whatever way you want to describe it, you have a hidden crease. All you have to do is look straight ahead at the mirror with your open eye and just instead of leaning back and finding in your crease, all you have to do is look straight ahead and then just do the same thing, but do it as an outline around your open eye on that skin. That skin right there, that's your hood. So I'm going to add a little bit more on that side. Now, if you don't have a hooded lid, it definitely helps to kind of lean your head back a little bit. I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm at that age where I'm starting to get the sag hood. So I kind of do a mix of both techniques. But if you don't have the hood at all, you can kind of lean your head back and get right in there in the crease of your eye. And you always want to make sure that the edges are really softly blended. Now, again, if you have small eyes or if you have close set eyes or close set pupils, as I do, or close set irises, whatever, you don't want to darken up this inner part of your eyes. You want to keep the focus on this outer part. Opposite goes for if you have wide set eyes. If you have wide set eyes, you want to go all the way in with your crease color, because that is going to darken and pull together the inner part of your eyes, making your eyes look closer together. So now, here's a special little trick. I am going to take, I'm gonna, again, kind of mix, because it's not like my exact perfect colors, but I'm mixing this color Twig, which is like a neutral grayish brown, perfect color for contouring. And I'm gonna mix it with a little of this warm brown color Dystopian. Okay, and I'm using the other side of the brush, using the flat top of it. So now, if you lift your eye up right under the arch and you place that color right under, like right kind of under that hood or right where your crease is, but just on this little outer part. So imagine you're going just from the arch of your eye, your arch of your eyebrow to the end. It's just gonna put that right there. Okay. What this is gonna do, this is going to kind of carve out your eye and make you look like you have a much deeper, deeper socket. So it's actually going to make your eye look a lot less hooded. So that is my most recent trick. Okay. And now again, you can buff that, but you don't want to buff it away. So just softening it so that it's not like harsh. Okay. There we go. So now again, if you don't have that issue with the hood, what you can do is just put it on this outer part of your eyelid. Especially if you have prominent eyes, that looks very, very pretty. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, mixing a little dot of Twig and Dystopian. And it's gonna lift up that hood a little bit. You're right under it. Are we even? I think I need a little more. Okay. So again, you can still do this even if you don't have the hood. This is just a way to carve out a more sculpted eye. And I apologize if my lighting looks different from one side to the other. Let's see. Okay, so once you have that placed, so you can see already it looks like my eye looks a lot, like the socket looks a little bit thicker. So just want to buff that in. But I don't want to lose the placement. Or again, if you've taken my classes, you know, I always say makeup artistry is all about placement. That's the most important thing, and control. You want to stay in control over where the pigment is being blended to. So that means very specific, intentional choices in which brush you use, how you use it, how you hold it. And you can find mostly all of that information on some of my other tutorials or live classes that are on our Blushington YouTube channel. And you can also always book like a one-on-one, a makeup 101. I always teach that whole process to my clients. Which tool to choose, why you're using that, where and how you're gonna hold it. Okay, so now we are going to go back and just do a little dusting more of that birch color, that, let's call it our bronzer color, right in the crease, just to give us our nice fireplace warmth, as I like to think of the holidays. Okay. Once we have that done, now comes the fun part. Okay, so again, here's my fun part. So now I am going to, we're going to put a little shimmer on our eyelids. I am actually going to use a combo because I'm just fancy like that, but you can use any colors you want. I'm mixing and I'm using my finger, shimmer, fingers, glitter, fingers. It'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so I am going to use my rose quartz here and this color teak. So I'm just getting a little bit and I'm going to press it in all over my eyelid. Now again, I'm keeping it kind of soft because like my holidays are not ones where I want to be like blasting my eye makeup. I just want to look pretty and I want to feel a little festive with some sparkle. So now New Year's Eve, that'll be my next class. That one's going to be a little more intense. So anybody that wants to get glammed up, we're going to do false lashes for New Year's as well. So again, I'm just patting this. You want to make sure you get the whole eyelid. This one needs a little more of one color. This one needs a little more of the other. And again, like you can adjust this to your own personal preference and make it as shimmery or as soft as you want. I'm just gonna take that fluffy side of the brush and just without, thank you, Britt. Britt says, we look so glamorous. Without adding any extra product, I'm just going to do just a little blend in that crease area again so that I don't have a harsh line. So now, going to grab my liquid liner, anchor my elbow down because it makes life so much easier. And I'm just going to do a very thin, tight line just across the top lid. Now, if you have a really nice, big, prominent eye, you can definitely pull off a thicker line. But I don't. I have like an almond-shaped eye, and if I put too much eyeliner, I lose my whole eyelid. So I'm just keeping it really light. And I'm going to add myself a little, baby little wedge on the outside. Because to me, that's like very 1950s. I love that look with the red lip. Okay, got that side done. I'm going to do the other. This is a really nice combo kind of wand. It is, let's see, how am I doing this? It is flexible. But it's not fully like a brush. Like it's actually like one of those, yeah, for the hooded lid, you definitely want to keep your liner thin. A lot of times I don't even do liner on the top, but since it came with my vault, I'm going to use it. Okay. And the best way to put this on is just keep your eye open and just in tiny little strokes, just drag it across your lash line. Using the tip, I'm using the tip of this. If I go for the whole side of it, it's going to be too thick for me. Okay, so now a little pro tip is that you never want to use liquid liner in your waterline. That is really important to know. Your waterline, which you may or may not know, that's like the inner rim of your eyelid. And you can actually line that both top and bottom, but not with liquid liner. With liquid liner, it's too thin and the pigment will just run and go a little crazy. So just winging that out a little bit. But again, you don't have to do this wedge. You don't have to do a wing, but you can. Makeup is for you to feel confident, feel beautiful, and to express yourself. So if you're not a wing person, don't do a wing. And if you are a wing person, go fly away with your wings. Enjoy yourself. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my lashes. For those of you who like to curl, you can curl with me. I'm just using a pointed Q-tip. For those of you that don't have these are a girl's best friend when it comes to makeup, cleaning, fixing, mistakes. You can even apply stuff with these. So I'm a strong believer in them. Okay. So curling lashes, very important. I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin lash curler. And again, for those pros out there, follow my little tip. Just lift your hands straight up while you're curling. And then open. You'll have a super spectacular curl. Okay. Perfect. Now to the real winner in every way of Anastasia products is my Lash Brag mascara. This does everything I've ever dreamed a mascara could do. And it holds the curl of my, if I don't curl my lashes, they completely disappear because they'll just look straight ahead. When I curl them and put on mascara, they really can be like knockout powerful for my look. And that's what I love. So this is like a really fluffy kind of whipped texture, which means it like, you see how I'm just layering it. And of course, if you wiggle it at the lash line and blink your eye, you'll get an even better curl and an even better coverage. And it's great if you wear glasses and you can't see what you're doing. But yeah, so it has this amazing, like, it never flakes, even like when it's dry. So you can just keep layering it if you want. Some people like to do the backs of the lashes. If you do that, do it in a twirl, a twirling motion of the fingers. That is the best way to do that. And I love doing that on redheads, blondes, anybody that has a really light colored eyelash. That really gives a major impact. So I'm doing the bottom. Again, personal preference, but for me, my eyelashes are one of my real assets. So, and that is something that every woman has to learn for themselves. Do you have a face full of assets? Do you have one or two? Do you have just one? Whatever it is, play it up and make it yours. So you see the difference from one eye to the other. And what's incredible is that this holds the curl, like I said, all day, but it's not waterproof. In the past, I could only get that from a waterproof mascara, but they really did a number on my lashes trying to remove them. Even with I've tried every different kind of makeup remover, but waterproof it's almost like hairspraying your hair. You can brush it out, but you still have hairspray in your hair. So that's kind of the same idea with waterproof mascara. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love waterproof. And definitely if I was still in the city, and for those of you that are in any cities where you're going to be like walking out in the cold, you might want to switch to waterproof for right now, because the eyes watering in the winter time and then going from wind and cold air to heat, that's enough to make my eyes tear a lot. Okay. So now doing the bottom. Everybody's looking beautiful. Hey, Sophia. Hey. All right. So we're almost completely done. This is like the main part of our look, the eyes, right? We've got these very pretty eyes now. I'm gonna do one last little thing with the eyes. I'm moving now to my Bdellium brush set that we carry at Blushington. Best quality brushes ever. They will last you a lifetime. I'm taking my small angled brush, 762. Now the whole set is the best deal, but certain ones are sold individually as well. This is one of them. I'm gonna run this in that sparkly color teak. This one right here. I'm just running the tip edge of this. And this is gonna get pulled all the way from this outer corner of my eye under my eyelid. So not only is that gonna give me a little definition, but it's also gonna give me some nice, pretty sparkle under there. And again, if you have small eyes or close set eyes, you always want to make sure to connect your top and bottom in the outer corner. Now, conversely, if you have wide set eyes, you want to connect the inner corners. It's all about where you want the darkness, whether you need to pull together the space between your eyes or whether you want to broaden it. And if you don't have those and you just have perfectly even eyes, you can kind of play around and see which look you like best. So this is a little softer than using eyeliner, and I kind of like that. And it has that sparkle in it. Now, I usually tell people only go to the widest width of your eye, which is usually somewhere around like your iris or your pupil. That is also going to make your eyes look big and bright. Now, I like to do a little trick where I kind of cheat a more straight line across just to make my eyes look a little bit wider. But you're still going kind of underneath and keeping that wide open look. Okay, so last things we're gonna do are our bronzer and blush, which we're doing right from this palette. So I'm switching to my 942 Bdellium. It's a contour brush, angled contour. So I'm actually gonna dip it right in this color Birch. Okay. And then this is gonna go right on the cheekbone. Gonna keep the outer corner of your eye as a guideline for how far in. And we're gonna start at the hairline. So see, I'm doing it in kind of a curved shape. And then I like to bring it up around the hairline. Now again, for like really personalized detail about like your own personal face shape, that I would definitely recommend a private lesson for. And those are super reasonably priced. So you can also choose if you want like a half hour, an hour, 90 minutes, but this is going to always be the general placement for bronzer. It's just really in terms of your forehead. Again, think about like the eyes. If you have a wide forehead, you can shade around it to kind of create a smaller looking forehead. If you have hey, Michelle, you look great. If you have a narrow forehead, then you don't want to shade the sides because you'll make it look more narrow. Same if you have a short forehead. You don't want to really shade in there. Okay. I forgot to color correct under my eyes, but I'm going to do it right now. Really, really lightly. I'm using my Stila color correction palette and a brush. And I'm just going to put a little in there. Now this I love because it just erases the dark pigment. It literally uses the color wheel to counteract skin discoloration. But if you don't use something like this, you can use concealer at home. I do recommend this though. This is like one of those makeup artist staples that you kind of, if you're a makeup artist, you can't live without it. This is really how like the professionals will conceal any under eye circles or hyperpigmentation. So I say, why not learn how to do your makeup like a professional? Plus it takes so much less product. And see, you can also just use that to kind of clean up under there. I'm still a little red here. My redness peeking through. It always wants to come out and say hi. Okay. So now that I'm bronzed, and remember, not bronzed heavily. It's like just enough to give a little warmth in my face and a little definition to my cheeks. I'm actually going to take my same brush. I'm going to dip it into this great pink color Bloom. Okay. And I'm going to put this right on the apples of my cheeks, but not too heavy because I'm already pink. So You can use any blush color, but of course, I love when a palette is kind of all inclusive. So you're gonna smile, find the apple of your cheek, and then you wanna use the bottom of your nose as your guide for how far down you're gonna take it. So I try to say, stay on the upper apple of your cheek, because I don't wanna bring it down here, or I'm gonna make my face sag. I want my face lifted. So I'm gonna focus it up here. And then you wanna kind of use I use an index finger to give myself a little space between my nose and my cheek. And that's where you're gonna put it. And I just gently kind of just dust it in an outward direction onto that apple. How is this looking, guys? You know, I can't trust my lighting, but it looks very pink to me. Does this look very pink? It's gorgeous. Are you sure? Don't lie. Okay. So now my other trick, always do it. Always do it, guys. Thank you, Julia. All right. I feel better now. Thanks, Britt. All right. Sorry. I'm seriously not fishing for compliments. I just know that I can't trust my lighting, and on my camera, I look like I've got bright pink cheeks. So now this is my must, always, always, always. Take that little bit of blush and go right across like the crease of the eye. And that you can do kind of from the inside. Thanks, Michelle. And that like ties it all together and just gives you that fireplace warmth that we're all going for this time of year. So just a few little notes on the lips. Okay, so again, same benefits as the Moisturizing Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer. Thanks, Kanza. That is the Shine Balm, and that's the color Poppy. So I put that on earlier. As you can see, it's not wet. This is it dried down to a beautiful stain. If you want to keep it light and soft, keep it like this. If you want, and the best part is my lips aren't dry. Like, they're moisturized, but like barely anything comes off. It's almost clear with a light little tint. Now again, if you're like on the go, or thanks, Serena, if you don't have a palette that has all that, you can always use this a little on your lips, cheeks, eyes, simple. Now, if you want to customize it, lip liners, they're tiny and they fit in your handbag and they don't take up any space and they don't leak. So this is a Kevyn Aucoin lip liner. This is Blood Roses. It's actually like a deep, deep, sultry, burgundy-ish kind of color. But my trick is, if you use the side of it instead of the point and just spread it on the lips, you can completely customize the color to however you want. So I'm not using it like it's full tone. Its full tone is like that. It's like a deep, deep Blood Roses. That's the name of the color. But I like to just add that little darkness. Now, we also have two other reds, one that's like a true blue tone red, and we have one that is a real orangey red. So if you love red, but you want that orange red, I would say customize this by adding that. That's a Julie Hewitt, which is a completely clean makeup brand, which I love. A lot of her products are organic and no yucky ingredients. And that's another way you can kind of customize it to whatever color you like. So now, let's say that you want long wear, but you don't want to wear a like a matte lip color. Okay, so add a little more of this on. All right, so I customized it. I made it a little bit more dark and blue tone. And I want it to last, but I want the moisture. Guess what? I'm going to powder them down, but I'm not going to powder them down with translucent powder as we've all seen like artists do in the past in magazines and stuff and videos. They would always say like blot and powder. I'm going to powder it with that pink color. And instead of muting the color, it's going to blend completely in. I'm literally just taking some with my finger. It didn't really change the tone. And now I'm going to have a much longer wearing lip without it looking and feeling dry. Just a little trick. And then my last tip is, if you are going to be going somewhere where like you're going to be wearing a mask, okay, because for those of us that are actually going out, most of us are wearing masks, even like to a family party. So if you're doing that and you want to have your red lip, but you don't want it coming off on your mask, you can use the long wear. Now, this is my favorite Galactic because it doesn't dry out my lips as many of the like long wear or matte lip colors tend to do. But this is a deep, sexy, dark kind of red. The name is called Seductive, of course. And people often ask me like, how do I get this on without it being cakey, without it being heavy, without it being all crumbly in the inner part? So I'm going to show you. See, even I'm wiping my lips with this now and see how that stain is staying there. I only just discovered that from playing around with my new product, and I was like, wow, this is great. So that's with it completely wiped away. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to use the Galactic. Now we also have a few different reds in the Stila liquid lipstick. This is my favorite though. And this is a lot deeper and more dramatic, but that's me. So the key is wipe the majority of the product off of the tip of the brush, okay? Because if you go in there with a full, thick, heavy application, that's where you're gonna get messed up. So here's how we do it. Put a little bit right in the center and mush your lips together. Or press, but we're not pressing, we're mushing them around. You want to spread that color as wide as you can without going outside the lips. Then, and so you see how you have it, you put on a thin amount and then you spread it so it's on there thin. Now we're going to take this without adding any more and just define around the edges. And this is great if you like to overdraw a little bit. It'll stay perfectly in place. See, I never go back for a second dip. I also don't have very big lips. If you have bigger lips, that might be like something that you have to do, but the color is not going to be different if you put this on heavier or not. This is like full pigment, so it's not going to look better or brighter if you put it on heavier. It's just going to be a thicker layer that's going to feel less comfortable and sit less beautifully on your lips. Okay. So that is the final, most dramatic version. That's the Galactic and Seductive, and that doesn't move. That doesn't come off. See? Can kiss your sweetheart on New Year's Eve or after dinner. Drink your seltzer, champagne, wine, whatever it is that you love, and wear your mask. And you don't have to worry, but you can still take your mask off, have your beautiful red lip. So thank you guys for your patience and for hanging out the extra few minutes so we could finish up the class. I really loved teaching this class to you guys. I loved having my regulars. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, Julia, it was really nice. I really love doing this. And again, like, I'm always open to feedback. So anybody that wants to follow me on Instagram, it's Lauren Serra, as my name is spelled on here, Lauren Serra Makeup Artist. And give me feedback, ask me questions. Now, if you go to the blushington.com website, we currently have a 25% off promotion. Let me see. Okay. So the 25% off promotion is, the code is holiday in caps 25. If you go to the website, actually the best thing is to click on, if you look in the chat, there's a link there where you can shop personally with me. When you go to that though, it's very important that you click shop with Lauren. And once you do that, we'll always be shopping together. You can reach out to me. You can reach me directly by my email. You can read my whole little bio there, and we'll be able to stay in touch, and I can advise you on products, on gifts, on anything that you need to know, beauty related, health related, when it comes to skincare or anything like that. So thank you guys so much. And my last class, okay, it's on here, is going to be right before New Year's Eve, the Wednesday before. It's going to be shimmery, cool and shimmery for New Year's Eve. The link is also in the chat. And thank you guys again. I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.